Use a lead hand as a left hand, then reverse punch. In this position, let's give it a try. Face each other. Left and front fighting stance. Make sure fist tight, but keep your body relaxed. Everybody understand? All right, let's go 2 times slowly. I go 1.
With this drill, the importance is in hand and foot coordination, being able to change heights smoothly and efficiently so that multiple combinations can be thrown with good power. Proper application of stance after technique is critical.
Okay, left foot front fighting stance. Next one, we're going to work same idea here. Low roundhouse kick. Change your height here, then elbow strike. From this position, low round kick, elbow strike. Elbow strike. You understand? Let's try it. Let's. Good. 1 step back. Alright. Okay, left foot front fighting stance. 2 times slowly, change your height. I go 1, 2.
In this drill, the low kick is used for closing the gap and then following up with an elbow technique while you're on the inside. Also, a coordination aspect and a transition drill.
When I say go, I go.
In this segment, we have a freestyle approach where the person holding the shield is in total control of the tempo of this drill. He's going to dictate whether the partner kicks high, low, left, right, or uses his hands, and to what extent the combinations occur. As you can see there, as he holds the pad down, it means more low kicks. As he comes up, it's hand combinations. It's an excellent drill for reaction time also.
Next drill, left foot front fighting stance. Everybody watch. With the lead leg front kick. From here, okay, make sure when you block the lead leg front kick, watch first. Normally, what I want you to do when you practice this kick, try not to do so much step in, this action here. From here, right off the back foot, this action here. Here. Don't telegraph your kick. You understand? Also, with the block now, as he throws the kick, don't just down parry this way here. When he kicks, a little bit bring the kick out to the side here. Notice how I readjust my stance. Then you attack with the low kick in this position. In this position here, fighting, kick, and parry to the side, then follow with the kick. So what you're doing is, when he kicks, you're controlling his leg a little bit. You're throwing off his balance. Everybody understand? Okay, if you just do this motion here, he can come down, he can follow up right away. Same leg here. Just block here, come right back. He kicks, take him off down slightly here, then follow up. You understand? Okay, let's try it. Left foot front fighting stance. So using like a swooping type block here, a little bit hooking the leg. Right? Back line's going to try it first 2 times slowly. Everybody understand? There you go. 1. And kick. 2.
This is a section which I like to call fight scenario drills. I create a potential situation that may occur, whether somebody's leading with a kick, throwing a punch, or as you'll see, several combinations of them.
Ready? I go.
Then remember, the most critical thing is hooking and throwing your opponent slightly off balance rather than just blocking the kick.
In this position, left foot front fighting stance, he's going to throw the back leg round kick. Same concept here. He throws the kick. Don't just block the kick. He's going to bring it back and follow up right away. Everybody understand? Okay, from this technique here, block, control with the reverse hand. Okay, from this position here, block and hold it here, bring down this action. Okay, so what I want you to do is try to blend the movements, the 2 movements together. From here, notice the switch here, then attack with the leg. So block, switch, attack. Again, block, switch, attack. Okay, sometimes you don't have to switch the leg. From here, then lead leg low roundhouse kick. But I want you to get the feeling now of setting up the proper distance for your low kicks. Everybody understand? So from here, block, and attack. Right? Let's try it. 2 times slowly. Back line first, back leg roundhouse kick. 1. Block.
Again, the key point here to remember is to trap the opponent's leg when he kicks, so that he has to commit himself to regaining his balance.
Knife hand parry, then back hooking. Okay? Lead hand. The hooking hand goes to the front. All right. I go 1. That's it. And kick. 2. After you bring your leg down, switch your stance. Then back leg kick. Try it one more time. 3. Block, switch, then kick. Good. Okay, now from this position here, left foot front fighting stance. Okay, attacking side, you're going to practice the low roundhouse kick, then 1-2 punch. Everybody understand? Okay, low roundhouse kick. This is your blocking action here. Notice my leg. I'm going to give a little bit to the kick. Again, give. Then he's going to follow 1-2 punch. Parry, hook, then knee kick. I also have this option here, striking the inside of the knee with the low roundhouse kick. We're going to keep it simple now. From here, 1, 2, 8. So I'm creating a little bit of a scenario, a fight scenario. From here, fighting, he's attacking 1, 2, 8, and follow up. Here, again, block, hook, knee kick. A little bit faster, more. Everybody understand? All right, let's try it. Face each other. So slowly, 3 times. Ready? Fighting stance. I go 1.
This exchange can get a little bit confusing, but you can notice how elaborate the techniques get. You can even add more combinations and create the ultimate fight scenario.
1, 2, 3. The next drill, left foot front fighting stance. In this position now, we're going to work on counter movement, okay, after opponent attacks. In this position, he's going to throw the low roundhouse kick, okay? I block, switch, then counter with the same leg. Again, from this position, block, switch, kick. So from here, block, switch, kick. Now, when you block, don't do this movement here. See how my weight goes back here? Strong kick here is just going to be overpowered. You understand? The idea is from here, kick, lead, then roundhouse kick. You understand? This position here. So my weight is almost going forward. He kicks, block, again, leg block, again, leg block, switch, then counter with this kick. You can use many different motions here. Block, switch, kick, follow this position, again, switch, 1-2 punch, or whatever. You understand? Let's practice this movement. Left foot front fighting stance. Okay, let's go 5 times. And then switch sides. Ready? I go 1.
Again, keep in mind, you can use any counter after using the leg block. But what's important is that after the leg block, do not make your weight go backwards. Use a forward motion after the leg block so that you can follow up appropriately. Now we'll get into specific partner conditioning drills. This is a close-up of the contact area made in this particular partner drill. I'll elaborate on that here.
Next action, you're going to hold the gi just like a judo fashion. Left hand grab the lapel, right hand grab the sleeve this way. Okay? When we practice the slow kick motion, mostly this is conditioning here. We're going to work to the inside of the thigh. Okay, very similar to the other conditioning method here. So I'm going to count 1, kick, then the other side, kick. Again, kick, the other side, kick. Now, eventually what I want you to work into, you have to start out just to get the feeling now here from each other, kicking. Then, eventually, I want you to get a little bit pull action here when you kick. Again, kick, right, this action here. Again, here, right? So, the idea is you're controlling here, then you work the low kick. Everybody understand? Then we work the rear, kicking the back leg with your back leg to the inside of the thigh. The same. Okay. So what happens here, you learn how to make the proper adjustments. Usually with the low roundhouse kick, you practice big motion. From here, you learn how to control the knee, how you travel the knee in, what path it takes. You understand? So from here, I can attack the inside of the thigh. Okay, again, good. From this position here, you learn how to attack from very close in position. You understand? Then we practice both sides. And the other side, go. Good. You understand? Okay, let's try it. Same position as before, grabbing the lapel and the sleeve. Now we're kicking into each other's shins here, so don't this action here. You understand? Nice and easy. Lift up, touch. Lift up, touch. This action. Eventually you build up, but this takes time. Okay? From here, just this action. Okay? Then what you do is you work different parts of the shin. You feel which part of the shin you need training on. You understand? Then with the back leg, a little bit nice and easy, this action. You understand? Let's try it a few times. You'll count. Stand up straight. Okay, hold the lapel. 10 times with the left leg.
So again, what's very important in this judo-type fashion training drill is that your kicks will become more fighting-oriented. The previous drills will then show you how to make your basic kicks into fighting kicks. Here I'd like to introduce to you a slightly different shin kick. Here we're looking at the proper distance that's needed for a good shin kick. But what happens is if you're in close, you can't get the proper range of motion. So you want to make a slight adjustment coming in from the outside and using a slightly different angle, a different blade of the shin. As opposed to the top part, you're going to use the inside part of the blade shin.
The inside, this position here. Now, the idea is very close fighting. I take a more balance, and we strike here with the inside part of the shin, of the blade of the shin. Okay? So very close fighting here, you can still work a low kick action. Make sure the foot is below a foot angle. Everybody understand? Striking with the side of the shin this way. So from this position here, okay, the idea is that you're striking the correct part of the thigh area. Everybody understand? So the idea is here, striking with the outside of the shin. Everybody understand? And let's go. Face first. Front line first 5 times. Left foot front fighting stance. Okay, grab the gi. Go 1.
Although this kick requires specific circumstances,
2.
It is a sneaky kick that can get in
3.
while your opponent is not on guard.
4. 5.
And by using your arms, you can manipulate him, taking him off balance,
as you kick. Ready?
so that his thigh area is more exposed.
2. 3. 4. 5.
In this next series of drills, I show the proper distance that's necessary for good low kicking techniques. Here, I'm practicing a distance drill. I'm keeping constant contact with my partner as we move up and down. That's basically an introduction to the distance that's required for the kicks. Here we start off with basically the inner thigh kick. Again, what's key here is reading your opponent's body movement as he throws the kick. What are signs that you can pick up when fighting somebody throwing the kicks, as well as learning proper accuracy and where to land with your kick. Here we're looking at the outside thigh kick. The difference here from tape 1 is that we basically showed a one-sided aspect of low kicks. One person practicing, whether it be on a device or another opponent. Here we're looking at 2 skilled people in low kicks and how they can combine the techniques together. Here we're looking at an inside and an outside kick. Now notice after the first kick, the slight skipping back that's involved. This is critical for readjusting the distance that's necessary for a good back leg low kick. So we're looking at a lead leg and a back leg low kick. Skipping back and setting the proper distance for the rear leg. We're going to look at the same technique, but now integrated with a high kick. A lead leg, inner thigh kick, skip back, and then high roundhouse kick. So you can see how very important it is to have good footwork when integrating your low kicks with other techniques. When skipping back, you may also want to sneak in a couple of punches also. This is all up to you. Here we're looking at a kind of a fight scenario that I described earlier. My opponent is attacking me with a low kick and then following up with a lead and reverse hand punch. I'm blocking appropriately and then following up with my own knee kick. Here I snuck in an elbow technique. Again, you can see how you can continue adding and elaborating on the techniques. So the attacker uses a leg kick and a 1-2 punch. The defender is deflecting and parrying techniques and following up with his own knee attack. This may be complicated, so if you want, rewind and review the techniques or make up your own. This is what I like to call controlled sparring. I'd say we're going at about 75% maximum power so that we have a good idea of the effectiveness of the techniques. But what we're doing is alternating turns. It's not choreographed, it's all arbitrary techniques. So it helps develop reflex timing and effective combinations and setups. Notice what I try to do with every technique I throw. I do some form of low kick, whether it be a knee or a shin kick or side kick or what have you, and combine it with some other technique, whether it's hand combinations or spinning kicks. Again, the key here to safety is that we know whose turn it is. So we're alternating turns, but at the same time, the techniques are arbitrary. I say this is one of the most effective ways to practice sparring. Watch how the heights change, the tempos of the techniques change, the head movements, the fakes. This is critical for proper technique integration. So the objective here is to make it as real as possible, but still maintaining safety and creating an environment conducive to learning the technique. One of the most important concepts that's involved in this next training drill is how I'm shifting my weight here. Notice the block I'm using, the leg block, and the hand stopping action, the stop block. This stop block is not necessarily only used for low kicks. It's an extremely effective method for jamming your opponent's techniques. Here I'm showing the balance that's involved here. I'm using a forward-leaning balance, almost as if I'm going to fall forward, and I catch and regain my balance with the lead leg. If you watch from this side, I'm using the palm heel with the shifting of the weight, and then the leg block. There's an extensive section on leg blocking techniques on my Iron Defense video. Here you'll see the integration of the stop block. Watch carefully. As my opponent attacks with the low kick, I'm going to use a forward motion with my palm heel and jamming with the leg. Watch carefully the timing and what happens to the opponent also after I apply the technique. From this angle, you'll see as he attacks, I react immediately. I'm jamming and pushing off balance. Now that palm heel could be a jab, it could be a grab, it could be a setup for combinations as I'm throwing here. The stop block. Now we'll move to what I like to call full power conditioning drills. This is the quote secret that's probably not really discussed when it comes to low kicks, is being able to throw and take full power kicks. Because unfortunately sometimes the only kick you might have time to use is being able to take the kick. So what's important here is that you're learning how to tighten your body at the point of impact. So there's a timing element involved here. What you saw previously was the inside thigh kick, and now we're using the outside thigh kick. Full power blows, creating a sense of urgency when it comes to tightening the body and kiaing or using the spirit shout to avoid further injury. One of the most important elements, if you don't have time to block, is that you shift your weight properly. What I'm doing here is actually pushing into the kick so that he cannot follow through effectively. If I go back this way, shifting the weight to my back leg, I've created a very suicidal situation for myself. My knees can break very easily that way, so I want that forward motion in there. In this drill, although it looks similar, is the counter-attacking portion of this drill. As I attack with my lead leg, he has to follow up quickly before I can get off another technique. So the objective here is to be able to take the pain and give it immediately. Probably one of the most important concepts in fighting here. Notice, if he doesn't follow up quickly, I may be in big trouble. Again, as I attack, he follows up quickly. He's trying to kick me before I reestablish my stance. Again, all with full power implied. Now we're changing the techniques. As I attack the inner thigh, my partner attacks the outer thigh. Again, if I don't rechamber and reposition myself quickly, he can take me off balance. Notice, as I kick, I bring back my foot and get into the stance right away, and then absorb the kick on my thigh. Here we're looking at a freestyle version of what I just did. Full power blows. Again, there is some degree of control here because we know what's coming. It's a low kick, but we don't know with which leg or how many combinations. The last minute or so you just saw here with this low kick drilling is probably the most important when it comes to low kicks. Because of the distance that's involved, you may not have time to block effectively, so you may have to take the kick. And there's a whole science in learning how to take it also, as I just showed you here. Proper tightening of the body as the kick is being thrown at you, shifting, etc. Now I move into a slightly different topic. I showed you 5 extremely effective hooking techniques on Volume 1. Here's an application of a gripping method to trapping the opponent's head. This is a grip that was fully explained on the Fundamental Concepts to Grappling and Ground Fighting tape. This grip here allows you to control your opponent's head as you maneuver and throw the low kicks. Now with a partner, you can see the trapping aspect here. You can easily move into grappling range from here, or manipulate your opponent's head so that you can drive the knees whether into the rib cage, to the thigh area, or to the solar plexus. The next variation, or the advanced integration of that gripping move, is going into what I like to call a palm heel manipulation. As I apply the grip, I may not be able to maneuver with the grip held on, so I have to let go and maneuver with the palm heel, redirecting the opponent's head. Another topic, the groin kick, although usually demonstrated with the instep, as I show here, usually does not occur as easily in a real fight. The distance will allow you probably more or less to use the shin area. And because the shin is so much larger than the instep, the odds of the low kick landing are greater and the effectiveness is greater. The next topic, ground fighting applications. Unless you are really familiar with ground fighting, if you do not have a thorough knowledge in the areas of judo or jiu-jitsu, you will not be able to apply these techniques effectively. What we're looking at here is called okuri erijime. It's a gi strangulation technique, very common to judo. Also, we're looking at a takedown method. I'm applying an arm lock with a triangle hold with the leg, and I'm also using an arm lock with the arm. Again, locking with the leg and arm. Now again, the purpose I'm showing this to you on this low kick tape is that if you do not have a thorough grounding in this information, you may have to stick with the striking area. Here, what I